Hey everyone, Michael Bodner here with another Tesla Tunity. I'm excited to share with you Navigate on Autopilot. I received my 2018.42.2 update with the brand new functionality, and I'd like to go ahead and take you on a test drive with me. Alright, in this first test we're going to enter the highway and select a destination to navigate to. With our Mad Max mode setting, you'll see that the car immediately recognizes that the lane to the left will be a quicker lane for us, and all we have to do is tap down on the turn signal to accept that recommendation. Now again, as we drive further down the highway, you'll notice that we've run into a little bit of traffic. We're lower than our 75-mile-an-hour preferred speed, and the car will recommend that the left lane is open and we can go ahead and take that lane. Of course, I acknowledge, and then you'll notice that cars have come into our blind spot, 3 in a row actually, and the car will not switch lanes until those 3 cars clear. For the next test, you can see we have a highway exchange coming up, and the car actually recommends to us well in advance that we're going to have an upcoming lane change. If you look closely, you'll see a gray line in the far right lane, kind of fades in and out, and that will indicate that that's the lane that the car wants us to eventually get to. So we'll go ahead and make our first change by acknowledging with the turn signal that we'll move over to the right. Again, in this case, we have a car right in our blind spot. One thing that I did notice in this road test actually is that the car had the opportunity to speed up and overtake that car. We were well under the set speed of 75 miles an hour, but for whatever reason it decided to slow down. Something that I'll note as something to be cautious about. There was a car behind me. We really didn't have to slow down to make that lane change. But in any event, we did get over. The car waited for the blind spot to free up, and it went ahead and made the lane change. Again, the car's telling us that we need to get over. You can see that gray line lights up and indicates that the right lane is the lane that we're going to want to be in. This time I waited, made sure we cleared, and you can see the car indicates it's time to change lanes. We'll go ahead and acknowledge with the turn signal, and again, we get over to the far right lane. Alright, and finally you can see the car's going to get us over to the right. Now this is something where before Navigate on Autopilot the car would struggle. This becomes one wide lane that does break down into 2 lanes, with the far right taking the exchange, and the lane over to the left could continue on straight or take the exchange over to switch highways. But with Navigate on Autopilot the car handles it perfectly, gets us over to the far right, and we have nothing to worry about, and we're off to exchange highways. Now last but not least, I want to take you to a few more scenarios here. The first one is a pay-to-speed lane which goes both directions. You can actually see it on the ground right now as I'm talking, that the lane lines are very, very confusing. In fact, I see human drivers make the mistake all the time. But with Navigate on Autopilot, the car perfectly follows the one in front of us, makes the right decision based on navigation, and I assume what's in front of us, and doesn't get mixed up with the lane lines crossing over itself. I can tell you, before Navigate on Autopilot, the car really struggled there to the point where you would have to take over every single time, as it would kind of waver back and forth. Now for our final test, we'll go ahead and do one more highway exchange. The difference on this one is that we will stay in the option lane, the lane that could go straight and stay on the highway that we're on, or could divert over to the right and exit the highway. As you can see, our blue line starts to curl to the right, indicating it's going to take us off of the highway. It puts on the blinker automatically, and it takes the exit automatically. So really just truly an amazing job by the car handling everything. You can really start to see where this can become full self-driving as the technology evolves and advances down the road. And the beauty of this, we're in kind of a runoff area in between two highways. Navigate on Autopilot continues to work. So it's going to take me over to the right, and then it's going to take us over to the right again as soon as the availability with the dashed line becomes available, I should say. And then finally we're going to do one more lane change, and it will wrap up, taking us off of the highway onto my exit. And then you'll see the warning will come up on the screen, and it will tell us when Navigate on Autopilot is going to come to a close for our drive. Alright, so there you have it. That's a few of the scenarios that we can cover in Navigate on Autopilot. We got on the highway, used Mad Max mode to change lanes. We also saw that the car would not switch lanes when there was somebody in the blind spot, which is great. We were able to cover a highway exchange from one highway to the next, including the car recommending getting over so that we would make it to the exchange. And then, of course, we did that again, exiting the highway with another exchange. Second time around, we stayed one lane outside to watch it, and then we wrapped things up with allowing the car to exit the highway for us. So hope you enjoyed. Really impressed with what Navigate on Autopilot can cover in its first iteration, and I'm sure we're going to see more and more improvements as time comes. But that's it for now. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, please remember always to subscribe, like, and comment, and keep things going. And of course, if you're interested in buying a Model 3, Model S, or Model X, you can always use my referral code, Michael34469. And at the current promotion, that'll get you 6 months worth of free unlimited supercharging on any purchase with Tesla. So again, hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye, everyone.